Hello and welcome to Season 8, Episode 2 of Non-League to Legend. I'm Kev, and coming up on today's episode, we've got live comms away against Leeds and at home against Oldham. But before we get into that, let's have a look back at the last month or so in game. It's been going pretty well, actually. We beat Reading 2-1. We beat Walsall 2-0 twice, once in the Championship, once in the Capital One Cup. This game, particularly the one against Walsall, was absolutely insane. We had 29 shots in that game. 16 of them were on target. 5 clear-cut chances. We absolutely tore them apart. I don't understand how it was only 2-0. The next game, we rested a lot of the players and still beaten 2-0 again. They're in the Championship, obviously. The later one, Bradford, we were 2-0 up for a lot of that game. It went to 2-1 with 10 minutes to go. They equalised with the last kick of the game, so that was a bit disappointing. Danny Sotra's got injured again in the first of the Walsall games, so Mick has been back in the side for those two. Can't help but think if Sotra's had been in goal against Bradford, we wouldn't have conceded the 2 goals late on. A little bit worryingly that it's the third injury Sotra's has picked up since he's been at the club, and he's only been here since January. I think I may have spent £2.5 million on an injury-prone dud, but hopefully my plan is, by giving Mika a little bit of game time here and there, when Sotra's is injured, it's going to help his development, and next year maybe Mika will be ready. I know I said that last year as well, but he's still only 20, 21. We also had a little bit of transfer business on deadline day, just the one deal. Nobody came in. Danny Drinkwater, we sold him to Burnley, £65,000. He obviously came in on a free transfer last summer. Didn't play a lot of games, only started 9 games. Wasn't getting the team at all towards the end of the season, and that's when we switched to 3 central midfield players. We brought in 2 central midfield players over the summer as well. Lansbury has played half a game as a substitute so far, so it made sense to let Drinkwater go. £16,000 a week he was on, so it frees up a little bit of wage budget for us. We've got £25,000 to spend in our wage budget now, and a little bit of transfer budget as well. The window's obviously closed, but you never know, there might be something going in January for us. The other big deal that almost happened, there were several clubs in for Joshua Emmanuel, Cardiff and Bournemouth most notably. Bids getting up to around the £2 million mark. I've had to agree to let him go at the end of the season because he kind of wants to go to Bournemouth. They're just relegated from the Premier League, top of the Championship at the moment. I probably could have sold him because we've still got James Tavernier there who could come back in. But I'm hoping if the season continues going as well as it is, we might get promoted this year, and Tavernier's not going to be able to cut it back in the Premier League at his age, whereas Emmanuel is getting better all the time. So if we can go up, we can keep him, hopefully. But if we don't go up, he joins Thierry Ambrose on the list of people who's leaving at the end of the year. So it's kind of now or never, or there's going to be a rebuild job next summer. So the league table at the moment, 5 games in, we're up to 4th place. It's going really well. We've won 3, drawn 1, lost 1. And we're doing okay. It's all very positive. We have picked up a couple of injuries over the international period, though. 3 players injured on international duty. Dane picked up a knock. He's still fit enough to be on the bench. We probably could have played him, but I'm just going to bring Dominic Ball in for him. Tommy Orr got injured and is out for a couple of weeks. Obviously, that doesn't matter massively because he wasn't in the side anyway. And Pedro Gomez got injured as well. He scored 2 goals on that little run of games that we had. He's only out for a few weeks. In fact, only a week left. So what that means for today is Johnny Vaughan gets to make his first start for the club. Other than that, it's unchanged. Ball and Vaughan come in. The rest of the team should be very familiar to you. Let's go and play Leeds. Now, long-time watchers of the series will know that the final game of the season for the last 2 years has been away against Leeds. And we've been absolutely smashed both times. I think getting on for conceding 10 goals across those 2 games. So this is going to be a real mark of how far we've come. I'm really encouraged by our start to the season. I like the new system that we're playing. I think we're benefiting from the fact we've only brought in 2 players, and we've already got that familiarity with the system, with teammates. We've not got a whole load of new people coming in who need to get to know each other. And I think that's helped us have a good start. But this has been our first real proper test against a team that only beat us last game of last season. So we're talking 6 league games ago. They absolutely hammered us. So if we can come away from Leeds with a decent result, then fingers crossed, we might be starting to look good going in for the rest of the season. We've got to go up this year. We have to. That being said, nothing's actually happening yet. We're going into half-time without a highlight. It's been so exciting when you've not been there watching. 25 shots we had against Walsall. We've had 5 in this match. But we're away against Leeds and we're not losing yet. So there are positives to be had. I'm sorry, we've had 8, they've had 5. What's wrong with Zubeldia? I probably should have noticed that at half time. Hopefully he's not seriously injured. Hughes with the corner. Drops to Vaughan, who finds Christensen out to Ambrose. Zubeldia now Ambrose, and we're 1-0 up away against Leeds. This is crazy town. It's his 3rd goal of the season. He's not been in his usual lightning form, but the players around him are scoring. So it's not a massive problem at the moment. We may have stumbled across a tactic here, you know. The replay's taking forever to load, but look at this, some nice little short passes, knocking it around a little bit. Ambrose, why they gave Ambrose that much space to have a shot, he was never missing from there. Goalkeeper didn't even move. Good goal, we're 1-0 up. We're beating Leeds. This is unheard of. Right, Sterling with the ball now, finds Vaughan, who slots Ambrose through again, and Ambrose really should have done better with that. That's the sort of chance that he should be finishing. But the highlight continues. Zubeldia finds Ambrose. Vaughan doesn't quite get there. Can we get it back in a 3rd time? It's a 3rd wave of this. Sterling's through and we're 2-0 up. That's his 3rd goal of the season as well. All of the front 3 are scoring goals. Finally, after over 2 years at being in the club together, Keziah Sterling and Thierry Ambrose look like they might be turning into the strike partnership we all hoped they would be all along. We bought the 2 of them in for less than £2 million for the pair. I thought it was the steal of the century at the time. Ambrose obviously hit the ground running. Sterling's taken his time, but this might be his season. And that would be awesome. Right, we need to lock this game down, really. I am working on ways to do that. Firstly, we're going to switch to standard. We're going to get Zubeldia off. He's done his work. Lansbury can come on and make only his 2nd appearance for the club. Who can I bring on for Emir Hughes? There's not really... I've played Dominic Ball in midfield a couple of times. He's quite good in this central midfield defensive role. We've not really used him there, but he played everywhere across the back 4 last season. It's very handy having a utility man around, but I don't really have a way to bring him on today. There's no reason to risk Dane at the moment anyway. So I think Emir Hughes gets to stay on, and we might bring... In fact, I'm going to bring Miraglia on for Johnny Vaughan. Not giving him a try as a trequartista yet. It's only been Kirk, now Vaughan as well, and Gomez who've been playing there. But Miraglia, again, all his stats say he should be very good at it. So we'll give him 20 minutes there. Miraglia, what a through ball to Thierry Ambrose. This should be 3-0, and Ambrose balloons that over the bar. He knows that should be a goal from him. He is missing a few chances this season, and I don't really get why. We're going to switch to counter-attacking. I'm going to try and make a defensive substitution in a minute as well, assuming we don't concede here. Ambrose finds Sterling. Sterling uses his pace. Why he's shooting from there, I do not know. That's not his game at all. But we are going to go defensive. This is absolutely taken from the playbook of somebody on the comments on not on Twitter, on YouTube. That's where you're watching this. Who said, you know, go defensive. Bring on a defender. Why not? Let's bring on a defender. We'll do that. We'll go defensive. Why not? Let's do that. That might be stupid. When I've done this previously, I've taken off a striker. In fact, yeah, I'm being too silly there. Let's keep Hughes on. We will bring Dane on, but we're going to bring him on for Keziah Sterling. That makes more sense. And then we'll put Miraglia there. We'll put Ambrose there. That looks less stupid to me. So we'll do that. And then in a few minutes, we'll go to contain. And we are just trying to lock the game down completely at this point. We'll just watch this highlight. Hadara with the free kick in. Can't win the ball back. And Leeds have potentially got a break on here. Dane, even though he's not fully fit, gets the ball back to Sotres. And now, hopefully, we can just run the ball up the other end of the pitch and keep it out the way. But Miraglia finds Lansbury. We've got an attack on here. Christensen, in a lot of space, finds Ambrose, back to Emmanuel, who shouldn't be that far forward. He's supposed to be on defensive instruction now. But he's forward again, trying to beat his man. He's going to get a cross in here. He finds Miraglia, and Miraglia has just made it 3-0. That's his first goal. It's his first goal for about a year in an Ipswich shirt. And as we know, he didn't score for Split either. And what a goal it is. So, Emmanuel finds the cross. Miraglia, one touch on the half volley, sticks it in the same corner Ambrose already put it in earlier. We have got a football team on our hands here. Promotion's on, everybody. We've just beaten Leeds 3-0 away. Ha ha ha. Oh, this is good. Right. Yes, I am pleased with that. Well done, lads. We're up to second in the league. Oh, this is getting exciting. Let's play another game. Right, second game. We're at home to the big spenders, Oldham. In fact, before we go into the game, I want to see how much they've spent. Because if you don't remember, they got taken over about a year and a half ago. And were given a £53 million transfer budget. They were in the Championship at the time, but got relegated that season. Didn't spend any of their money because it all happened after the transfer window closed. But then, obviously, they spent, what did they spend last season? £20 million to get promoted from League One. I mean, they're in League One. They bought 2 players for more than £5 million each. Ridiculous. So they spent £20 million last season. They've spent only £4.5 million this season, but still far more money than you would expect a newly promoted side to spend. But they're finding themselves in 23rd position at the moment. So, that's what we say to that. Right, hopefully we'll beat them today. We have had to make a couple of changes to the side, actually. Igor Zabeldia, in the last game, he got his little chest injury. He's out for a week or so he drops out of the side. But what I've done is brought Dane back in and moved Dominic Ball up into the defensive midfield position. Moved Emir Hughes out to box midfielder. I mentioned I've done this a couple of times. Ball actually looks pretty good there. He just gives us that bit of midfield muscle and stability that we've been looking for. If he turns out to be the man, he was my second signing. Christensen was my first signing, but he's been at the club 2 years. If he's the solution to the problem we've had, I'm not going to be impressed. But he's going to play there today. The rest of the team unchanged. Our tiny squad is starting to show. Gomez is just coming back to fitness. I've promoted this lad into the first team squad as well. He's centre-back who's come through the youth system. I mean, he's clearly not ready for the first team, but we're a bit low on players, so he's going to sit in the first team squad with James Maloney for a little while. Might play him in the Cups or something. I'll probably put him back down into reserves before long, but for now he's just filling out some gaps in the first team squad. I don't really want to make any signings. I don't want to bring in anyone on loan. I don't want to upset the balance. If we can bring in some of the youngsters that we've got just to fill some spaces on the bench, then I'd kind of rather do that. But let's get into today's game. Hopefully we'll give Oldham an absolute thumping, but I just have a feeling that we're going to lose. The form has been going too well. They must have some quality players at the club with the amount of money they've spent, so it must be a false position that they're in at the moment, down in 23rd place. Their form has got to turn around at some point. And, you know, it's non-league to legend. Obviously, their form's going to turn around against us. That's the way these things work. I'm tempted to put the league table on just because we're up there in second place, and I want to see if we can go top. I don't think I've ended an episode of this series top of the league since the first season when I was still at Boston, and it'd just be nice to do that. But I think it's tempting fate too much. They've hit the crossbar, for goodness sake! Come on, Ipswich. Haidara's picked up an injury. We could do without that. What's wrong with him? Bruised rib. Have we even got Knudsen on the bench? Probably not. Ah, yes, we have got Knudsen on the bench, so I might bring him on at half-time for Haidara, because Haidara has been excellent since he's broken into the squad, broken into the team, halfway through last season. Knudsen's never made it back in after recovering from his broken leg, so I don't want Haidara to pick up an injury. Why are you shooting from there, Thierry? That was just stupid. Sterling was in space. Vaughan was on his way through as well. Oh, you're on support. You're supposed to pass the ball occasionally. Oldham have got a long throw here, and it's offside. Okay. Come on, we need to get a hold of this game. Oldham are rubbish. We're good. Let's go and score a goal. So Ambrose gets it out wide to Haidara. Can we get a cross in? He does, but it's just beaten back out. Dane picks up the loose ball. Back to Haidara, who shouldn't be running around with his poorly ribs or whatever was wrong with him, but he gets the cross in there. Sterling with the chance, and that is a superb save from their goalkeeper. Christian with a follow-up. Christensen. I feel like I've called him Christian before. I might change his name. I can't pronounce his middle name anyway, so why not just change the whole thing? We need to get the ball away here. We don't want to concede just before half-time. Come on, let's get the ball back. Ambrose now again feeds Sterling. Sterling is through. He should have scored. That's twice, really. I would have expected goals from Keziah Sterling. He's had 2 clear-cut chances. He's missed them both. Hopefully, we're not going to live to pay for that, because I won't be happy, Keziah. That looks like it's half time. Is it? Come on, Jonas, get out and warm up. You're coming on for Haidara. We don't really want another injury. We're playing Middlesbrough at the weekend, I think, and I would like to not break Haidara before then. So let's bring Jonas Knudsen on for his first game in a long, long time. He's far from match fit, but yeah, why not? He was good before he got injured. Hopefully he can recapture some of his previous form. Again, we've got James Tavernier there as well. We are in a great position with our fullbacks at the moment. So it's one area where we can probably afford an injury, and we're 1-0 down. What did I tell you? I mean, I imagine Knudsen gave the free kick away. It was a free kick, I think, because it's out there, left back position. The game doesn't want to give us the highlight even. Oh no, it's not even a free kick. So Knudsen should be closing down. He lets his man get his cross in. I'm completely blaming Jonas Knudsen there. The defenders have just let Obi walk past him though, and that is not acceptable. Right, this is a problem because we're on a good run of form and Oldham are rubbish. It's because I mentioned we could go top of the league. The game is punishing me for it. This is where the small squad becomes a problem, he says 3 minutes after saying he doesn't want to bring in any more players, because we don't really have a game changer on the bench. Maraglia probably is the option. He scored a good goal last game. Bring him on for Johnny Vaughan. That'll do for now. We've got Kirk and Lansbury there as potential attacking options. But who'd you bring up? Neither of them are as good as what we've got on the pitch, I don't think. I suppose we could bring Lansbury on for Dominic Ball and just have a slightly more attacking midfield. In fact, that probably will be the substitution I'm about to make. So let's not delay any longer. Let's get him on. Henry Lansbury, where are you? There you are. You can come on for Dominic Ball. We'll stick Hughes back there, and you can be box-to-box midfielder. I don't know if 13 minutes is enough for you to change the game as a box-to-box midfielder, but that's what I'm expecting from you. You want to start playing some games from the start? This is what you need to do. Again, it's coming in from that left-hand side. Right, Maraglia's got the ball free. Sterling has room to run into. Finds Ambrose, and now Knudsen with a chance to cross and redeem himself. He gets the cross in. It bounces back out, but Emmanuel picks it up and loses the ball. Come on, chase him back. You're supposed to be a right-back. Oh, this isn't going well today. This is one of those games you want to forget. Perhaps we were the ones in the false position. Perhaps we both were. We're both finishing mid-table and 2-0. And Knudsen again is the man. Haidara could have played on with a broken rib or whatever's wrong with him, because Knudsen's let that player get in behind him and he's not making the challenge, and that cross has come in too easy. Jonas Knudsen was really important for the first year and a half of this save. Now, it's all his fault. I am blaming him for today. We've had the 2 clear-cut chances. We've had 20 shots on goal. We've been the better team. And all because of Jonas Knudsen, we've lost. Right, let's have a look to see what that's done to the league table. We're still only down to 5th place. We're still only 3 points off the top of the league. It's not a disaster. But, you know, if we'd have won, I mean, we'd have had to have absolutely thrashed them to catch up with Bournemouth. But we could have been joint top with Bournemouth and Rotherham. That would have been nice. If you've enjoyed today's episode, make sure you pop a like on there for me. Subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on all the future episodes. And thank you very much for watching.